Welcome to Real Estate Radio Live, an informative and engaging hour discussing everything you need to know about the world of real estate. Your host, 𝗘𝐀𝐥𝐚𝐭𝐞𝐝, provides you with insight and guidance on how to buy, sell, finance, and invest in real estate. He also offers real estate tax management.
KDOW 1220 AM. You can also listen to us live online at kdow.biz. We would prefer that you download one of the podcasts now. If you go to RE Radio Live, you could do it there, or iTunes, Stitcher, all those wonderful places. Download the podcast and follow the show everywhere you go. All right, live show. Love your calls, love your questions, and I'm going to invite back my good friends that haven't been here for a while, Mr. John 𝗓𝗠 and the John 𝗓𝗠 team, and Daniel Goney. How you doing, guys?
We are good, Joe.
Good to be back.
Yay, Woo. Big Joe.
He's back from Hawaii.
We all been missing in action, so we got a lot to catch up on here. And so welcome you guys back. Let's start by giving us a little update. You guys changed companies. Give us a little update on what's going on with your life and business and how business is going. I know it's busy.
It is busy. We actually haven't stopped. It's been a little bit painful in some regards, but of course we feel thankful that we're busy at a interesting time in the real estate market with the inventory being so low and a little blip in the stock market. So the fact that we're getting business right now, we feel very thankful for, and shout out to all our great clients. We decided to move over to the Sereno Group in July. So we've been transitioning. We've been there for 6-7 months now, and we're very happy. I think one of the reasons we went really was the people that are involved in the Sereno Group, Chris Trapani and great Ryan 𝗔𝗕𝗢𝗨𝗧. Did I say it right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, well,
Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan, if you're listening that I butchered your last name, but these are the owners of the company and real tremendous guys. Daniel went to school with Ryan. Chris and I started the business at the same time. And, of course, Chris used to be the president of Coldwell Banker, and we've known each other for a long time. And it was actually a fairly easy transition, and it's a real great group of people. And so we're excited and to be part of their team, and we're having fun.
Great. So you guys are still in Saratoga, right? You're like you were before in the Saratoga offices for Sereno Group, and business is thriving. You guys, that hasn't slowed down. I mean, the transition and changing companies is a little bit of a challenge, but you're busy, and you just talked about it, John, which is kind of interesting, which is I had a show last week I was talking about even more reason to keep investing in real estate. What do we think about this market, right? I mean, every time you think, you say, okay, maybe I had a little retirement or my 401k, you see what happens in the market. It's even better, more of a reason to invest in real estate.
It's true. I mean, it's one of those things, Joe, where I don't pay too close attention to the stock market. Actually, I pay attention to the stock market. I just don't pay attention to my own portfolio.
I hear you.
I think whenever you invest in the stock market or in real estate, really, if you do it for the long term, it really doesn't matter what's happening today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about the 2016 trends. You guys wrapped up 15, I know, really strong. So what's going on in the first quarter of 16 first, and then for you as a company, and then maybe your observation of the market, and then talk a little bit about what you guys expect, through the rest of 16.
Yeah, shout out to the Sereno Group. They're great to work for. I love it so far. I'm pumped up. Everyone there is super collaborative. They help you out. It's just a great company.
You're representing your Sereno Group sweater.
I have a sweater on as well.
Got the sweater on? I was going to ask for the tattoo, but we'll...
That's next show.
Okay.
2016 started off a little bit like last year, extremely low, but even worse off. I would say we just had a company meeting today, and they were saying I think it's the lowest it's been in the last maybe ever. I think it was. Yeah, inventory is extremely low. With the rates still extremely low. You have a lot of buyers out there. You have a lot of sellers out there. Currently in the market, there's 600 active single-family homes. There's 700 pending. John's been in this business for 27 years. He's probably never seen it that low. We just got done with the deal a little bit ago, and we had 21 offers in Santa Clara. So a lot of buyers are still out there, but with inventory so low, I mean, it's just kind of it's still a little nuts, I would say.
Is there any? I mean, there's not much you could do, right? Other than just wait and wait. Is there something other than what do you do to get more inventory? I guess is what I'm saying. You just wait for a market change or a market shift, I should say. Do you guys see this continuing? I'm not sure why inventory would increase very much more, or maybe we do see it this time of the year, possibly.
Usually, Joe, I would say that at least the trend of the years I've been doing it, there's always a little more influx of inventory, usually in the spring, and I would consider that really end of February, March time frame. Daniel and I took a little different approach this year with our clients and said, list now. I mean, we listed some homes right before Christmas when people are saying, should we wait? And we said, why wait? There's nothing else for sale right now. And so the pickings are slim, as they say. So it may increase a little bit, but heck, we're only at 600 homes. I mean, that's low. So what's going to be radical? I don't know. You're going to have to pump the rates up 3%, and the stock market's going to have to get beat down for another 6 months, and then I don't know, maybe. But we drove by Tantau and saw the new Apple building there. I'm like, okay, they're going to have to fill that with jobs. So based on what we see, I don't see any major correction right now. Maybe 4 years from now. Maybe something's different. I don't know.
If you're just tuning in, this is Joe 𝐸𝐴𝐻 with Real Estate Radio Live. We're with you 5 days a week. I have in studio for the entire hour here John 𝗡ehler and the 𝗡ehler team, Daniel Goney as well. We're talking about 2016 market and much, much more. If you have any questions, there's two ways you can interact. One is 1-800-516-1220, or you could text 408-838-9060. So inventory super low. Is it the same thing on the high end, you guys? I mean, I know you guys deal with the high end real estate as well. You really deal with the gamut from across the board. But let's $2.5 million or so. You used to say kind of the mark. Is that also affected the low inventory, or is there more inventory percentage wise for some of the higher end stuff?
I would agree with that. Yeah,
there's more up there. It sits longer, but there's probably more. That probably makes up.
Probably 40%.
Yeah, I was going to say 40%. Sitting on the market for over 60 days. 180 days, some of those higher end properties. Got it. And what's the focus for you guys this year with the team? I mean, is it just more of the same, taking care of your clients, working the database, really trying to figure out where? I guess it's just trying to get as many listings, right? I mean, you're helping the buyers, I know too, but God, this shortage of inventory. How do you work around that? What's the strategy for the 𝗡ehler team?
Well, one of the things Daniel and I have been, we've been meeting recently to kind of gauge and gear up for a new year, doing this for a long time, and I've committed to stay in this business for a lot longer, at least another 10 years and maybe longer. I always make a joke and tell people that I'll invite them to my retirement party, which will unfortunately be my funeral as well. So I'm committed to this business. I'm raising 5 kids in this area. Daniel's young, and he's been doing a great job. Mike Lauk is part of our team, and we're soon taking on a new surprise agent that's going to come work with us. And we've been meeting recently, Joe, about the things that we want to do. And certainly your influence, since we've been working together for so long, and your team, and the things that you've been able to accomplish in keeping in touch with your clients and expanding your business, is something that we are going to focus on. So we've decided to, with this new move to the company, we're going to get a new brochure. We're going to start farming, and we're going to start reconnecting with our old clients in a myriad of different ways. But we're real excited about it. Dan's spent a lot of time taking some courses in the social media end of things, in addition to your old school, keeping in touch with your clients. And so we're putting a system together as we speak, and so we're going to try to do a better job at that, and we're excited about that and hope that it will expand our business.
Very good. So more marketing, some more material, more social media. I took your class, your buddy Brian Buffini.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That's
class. Where it's all about connecting with people. It's a relationship business, as you guys know. I've learned a lot from John in the short time of. These aren't our clients. We're kind of an extended member of their family. Right. We just know a lot about real estate. So we get the chance to work with someone, it's just not that transaction. We'd like to keep it going farther, take care of them. Most of the clients that I've had so far, I've kept in touch with them. They kind of tend to become my friends after a while. I've seen John. We just had a meeting with one of his past clients, and he actually helped his daughter with school. And, doing things like that, John really connects a lot of people together, and real estate helps us get out there in the community. Just like Sereno, this 1%, we'll talk about that later. But it's all about connecting with people, and really, we don't do this for the money or anything like that. We really like working with people, making a relationship business. I've been coaching for 8 years. It's kind of the same thing. I love helping kids. I love coaching kids. John's the same way. We love what we do with the people we do it with.
Yeah, you do. You guys do a great job at it, too. We're going to take a break in a couple of minutes, and I want to talk about the getting your offer accepted, because we just talked about the low inventory. Huge challenge. I mean, we work together a lot. I hear it all the time. So after we come back from the break, I want to talk a little bit about that, because some of the challenges, maybe start with telling the audience a little bit about what the challenge is. Obviously, when you have a low inventory and you have, as you'd mentioned, 20-plus offers on one property, how do you make sure that you're putting the best foot forward for your client, right? What are the things that you guys do? And I know you guys do it well, but when we come back, we'll talk about that and much more, and we'll talk about that 1% too, because a lot of giving back there at Sereno. Right?
They're one of the biggest. They're one of the biggest in the valley now. They just got an award, I think, last year. I think we were number 25 of giving back. I mean, we're not a big company either. We probably have.
We have 10 offices.
10 offices now, 300, and we're competing against companies.
I know
like
that's
Yahoo,
a big focus of Chris, though, and his group, though. They've always given back. Yeah,
that's why I think that's why they started this whole company.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, much more of the 𝗡𝗨er Group. If you have any questions for John or Daniel, 1-800-516-1220, or you could text 408-838-9060. This is Joe 𝐸𝐶𝐜 with the Real Estate Radio Live. We're going to take a break and come back and continue. We'll be back with you in just a couple minutes. Marketplace, but now even more importantly for those people listening out there, if you're frustrated, you're on the fence, you got tired of losing out on an offer maybe, or not quite sure that you're getting represented the best possible, what I will do on this show continually is have experts on that will assist you in education, information, and really help you get these real estate transactions, give you the best chance to win. And John and his team does that. They've been doing it for 20-plus years, and they treat people better than most that I've worked with, that's for sure. So let's talk about, you guys, the better chance of getting the offer accepted. Low inventory, we all know that. So then the obvious one is, John and Daniel, it's okay, you're working with a client, you're about ready to put an offer in a house that probably likely is going to have multiple offers. Let's just call it 10, 15 plus. What is the process you go through first, if you could walk us through it? First, the conversation you have with your client, right? The potential buyers, here's what we have to do, here's what to expect. And then putting the offer together, and then the interaction with the listing agent, if you kind of take us through a better chance to succeed for your clients.
Yeah, the first would be get a hold of a guy like you.
Make sure your approval.
Make sure you're pre-approved and you're financial and you know what you can buy.
Right.
You have some people who go to open house. They'll start looking at homes. I really like this. You got to find out what you can spend, and you have to be pre-approved. If you're not, you're kind of out of the game already.
Right.
So go get pre-approved. Second of all, pick an area where you're going to don't. I've seen some clients in the past just need to buy a home right away. They don't pick a home in an area you're going to be happy with, especially with non-contingent offers or something. You don't want to get stuck in something. Another thing we do, we sit our clients down. We'll tell them what's going on in the market, what we expect, what they can expect when you're writing an offer. Contingency periods are a big thing now. A lot of sellers are going to have their reports all done. Inspections will be all done. If you sign off on that in the beginning, some people don't want it. Some people won't go non-contingent. We tell them there's probably going to be offers that are going to be non-contingent. They might be all cash. They're going to have maybe a better down payment than you. But you have to be confident, and you have to let your client kind of decide what they want. We never pressure anyone. We're not going to say this is what you need to write, and you have to be non-contingent to get it. And that's not true, because I've seen John do it a few weeks ago. He got a client in a house. It was contingent, and he beat out other offers. So that's not the case all the time. Sit down, educate them on the market, let them know this is kind of the process if it's going to be. And sometimes when people think there's going to be 10 offers, Sometimes there's not. Sometimes only 2 come in.
Yeah, you
so
never know.
You kind of have to stick to your guns, and you might lose a few times, but the process will work its way out. As John says, you might bid on 10 homes, but you'll forget all of that once you get the one you want. So.
Right. And this is also, John, you could speak to it, you both two can, but, in the world of Zillow and Trillia and all this stuff, which is great, we all know 80% of people go on and do their searches and all that. We get that. But the bottom line, especially in a market like this or an area like this is where it comes down to working with the right real estate team, right? Because not only the offer that you guys put together and the way you stage it up, but to me, the long-standing thing is the relationship you not only have with your client, but with the potential listing agent. You've been in this business a long time. There's a lot to that. If you could talk to a little bit about knowing the market, but not only knowing the market, but people on the other listing side, how you could pick up the phone, meet with them, and really take the temperature and figure out how you might have a better chance to get that offer, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think, and we've done this together, Joe, a lot of times, and we really appreciate your support in this because it's important. I think one thing that I've tried to teach my team members, and Daniel gets it in a fairly short period of time. He's working on 5 years doing this, but I think what's been important for our team is our integrity with our clients, but integrity amongst our peers in the business, both on the finance side as well as the real estate agents. The people out there know we do real good business. We have very good clients that are educated, that understand the process. That's usually where the breakdown occurs. When you see deals blow up, it's usually a lack of communication between the broker and the principal. So for us, we've taken a lot of pride in that closing ratio of at least 100%. We've had maybe a couple deals in the 30 years we've been doing this that have gone by the wayside due to our side. But for the most part, that reputation goes a long way.
And staying in touch with them, I'm guessing, too, and keeping the, the energy level or the enthusiasm in the sense that it's probably easy for these people to get down, right? I mean, if you think about it, they lose out on a couple offers, no fault of anybody's, but it's just a market-related. How do you guys keep them energized and, hey, hang in there, let's look at some different areas? What's your approach with your clients with that whole working with them when it comes to that? Because some of them, if they're waiting out for several months, it could be pretty upsetting, right? Or disappointing, I should say.
Yeah, no, you stay positive.
That's
why we're kind of in this business. I think, as you can tell from John, he's always up. He's always positive. He's always thinking that way. I kind of feed off that. And, you're going to lose out on homes. I've lost out in the house, and especially representing one of my good friends, we lost a few times. And you feel bad, but you got to educate them. You got to let them know there's always going to be another house out there for you. It tends to work out that the ones you lose out on, they didn't even want that. They want the one they get, or they're kind of happy with. And real quick I saw John. We had an agent come into our office, Roy Moses, about 2 weeks ago, and he's old school like John, and he was so professional the way you do it, the right way. I just wanted, and him and John sat there and they talked, and he was presenting the offer. And I got to see how it used to really work and how I think real estate should be. They were shaking hands. He came in, he presented this offer, and it was
that's great.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Instead of emailing an offer, he came over. He really represented his clients well. I think that's the biggest thing. Find an agent that will represent you the best, and I thought he was just one of them.
It's good seeing the relationships work. All right, we're going to have to take another break. When we come back, much more. If you want to ask the experts a question, 40 you can. We realize most people can't afford the luxury between 3 and 4, so follow the podcast, listen to us, take that information, education and information. Sharing that today with you with the 𝗡𝗨er Group, John 𝗡𝗨er, Daniel Goney, talking about 2016, how to have a better chance of getting your offer accepted. Anything else, any final words of wisdom on getting your offer accepted, you guys, before we discussed a little bit about 1% and giving back and some of the Sereno programs. Anything else you could mention to anyone out there that's looking for some raising their hands for hope, trying to figure out who to work for? And
don't be disappointed. It's a process. You got to work with a good agent. Don't go with the first one recommended to you so far. Do some research on them. John's been in this business a long time. I was just fortunate to be able to work for him, just like that Roy Moses thing. You really want someone who's been in it, who has investment out for you. You want someone who's going to represent in the right way, not just try to make a sale or be in and out. So,
I think one of the bigger talking while we were off the air is we're trying to take, Daniel and I and Mike have been trying to take advantage of presenting our offers now live in person to either the agent or the seller when we're representing buyer. It's a huge thing, Joe. And we found real great success doing that because now the people that are potentially selling their house, they're seeing the people that are representing them, the people they're actually paying, and we try to instill confidence that this is the right buyer for them to select, and we're having good success with that.
And let's face it, most of you guys have been in this business a long time. John, you're one of the best at it. When you get in front of people, you have a better chance to win, right?
I would say so.
Versus telephone, text, email. I know we're all busy, but that's a great approach and a perfect idea. So more of the face-to-face, more of really building a relationship to have a better chance to win.
Yep. We just make sure we are constantly educating the agents we're presenting with about why they should accept our buyer's offer. The combination, Joe, with your assistance and your communication, and now since you've been doing this as long as I have, the agents know you, and that helps. That gives them a confidence level because right now you do compete with cash offers, but cash offers aren't always the best offers. Having somebody that's going to close the deal, and certainly when the agents hear from you, it always helps our case in getting these things selected. So
yeah, I appreciate that. It's about putting together the team effort, that's for sure, and it's good working with you guys. Speaking of team effort, let's talk a little bit about the Sereno group, some of the special giving back. I know that when Chris and Ryan started this, one of their focuses have been giving back. I think it's the 1% program or something.
1% for good.
1% for good. So tell us a little bit about the 1% for good and maybe some of the causes and how people get involved.
Yeah, 1% for good for everyone out there. Each office is a little different who they choose. But what it is pretty much is each agent is given 1% of their gross commission to that charity each quarter, the ones the office designates. They've been doing this since the beginning. The company was pretty much founded on this principle of giving back to the community. Ryan grew up here. My dad coached him and Chris in football at Saratoga. They grew up in this area. They moved back. They want to be part of the community. They started the Sereno Group pretty much for this, to give back, to not just be someone who's selling real estate. They're part of the community. I think it's a great thing what they've done the last 10 years so far, and it's shown through how much money. I think they've given out, I've only been with the company 7 months, but around $500,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's incredible what they do. And who really drives it is the agents in the office. They put a lot of time and commitment. They're giving their own money back to these companies and to these charities. The great thing about it's not real big charities. It's more grassroots, smaller ones that are in the community. Each office, like I said, is different. Palo Alto, Los Altos, Los Gatos, Saratoga. We all choose a different organization. I think it's 4 times a year, and then sometimes I'll divvy out little bit less money to different organizations who need help.
So every quarter, each office designates someone who they're going to give to.
So so they'll come into the office. They'll find out through word of mouth about what Sereno does and how much they give.
Right.
They'll come in. They'll do a presentation for their office. They have a board, a 1% board, who will choose the foundation.
Okay.
Then they go out and all the selling Sereno does. They get a pretty nice check at the end. Some of the companies, Haconey Garden, Saratoga, we just donated money for up in Palo Alto. Peninsula Volunteers is one. We got Global Citizens. We got Building Success Together. These are all Momentum for Health. These are all organizations in the Bay Area or even more in the local communities.
So if there's organizations out there listening that could benefit from this, what do they do? Do they contact the Sereno Group and they want to be considered? Is that how that works?
Exactly. Okay. You can contact any office because everyone, if you called our office manager, Christina, would answer the phone. She's top-notch, by the way. They all know about this program. It's kind of what we're founded on. So everyone knows. You would just call and say, hey, I have a pitch. Can you look at us? Some of these bigger ones will want to see financial records. They want to make sure where this money that we're going to donate is going to the right people and to the right places. It's just, they're just not cutting a check to cut a check
Yeah,
and be in the paper
right.
and say, look at us. Or they want it to go to the right people. So a lot of these are smaller organizations who $20,000 will mean a lot to that organization.
It's a big
huge,
deal. Yeah. And it's typically companies or organizations, I should say, that are in the Bay Area, right?
I would say Bay Area. I would say even more local.
Even more
Coney
local.
Gardens is in Saratoga. This Kid Power here, I think this is a Willow Glen one they did. That's local.
So the idea is that you guys have a direct effect on the community in more ways.
And they really have it dialed
Right.
in that when you go and present, it's, okay, where's this money going to? Is it going to the... is it going directly to the people who need
cause,
it? That's
right.
the cause, exactly.
All right, we're going to take a last break. When we come back, we're going to finish up. If you have any questions for the 𝗓𝗄er team, 1-800-516-1220. Just finishing up here, and I've had in the studio for the entire hour the 𝗓𝗓er team, John 𝗓𝗓er and Daniel Goney, back in the saddle for the first time in a while. Good to have the guys back with the Sereno group. Nice. Really enjoying where they are working. We're talking about getting the offers accepted, some of the reasons why they have success in that area, and then Daniel and John also just talked a little bit about the 1% program that Sereno adopted when they started, and the benefits around that, helping the community directly. With the last couple of minutes we have to go here, guys, before we give out your information, what would you say, the listeners, they're a seller, if you're talking to sellers and buyers, what bit of advice would you give both of those right now if you're sitting here today giving kind of a speech, State of the Union for 2016, what they might expect?
I would say sellers, if you're listening right now, pick up the phone and call a very good real estate agent. We're happy to assist you and chat with you, meet with you, give you analysis. This is the right time to sell. Don't wait till everybody else decides to do the same thing. Now is the time to sell. You can see the weather is out. We're starting to get a blossom. I guess El Nino is over. So call now if you want to sell. If you want to buy, make sure you meet with the right people. Again, we're accepting all clients at this time and would be happy to meet with you and go through the process and tell you how to get it done the right way and have your best opportunity to buy a property. Daniel?
I agree. Do a little research out there. Know your financials. Know what it's going to cost. Everyone's kind of on the fence. Should I wait? Should I buy? And me and Joe, you were talking before,
Right.
well, rates are so low.
Right.
You'd kind of be a dummy not to buy if you had the chance. And if they go up, then you just kind of lose more value in your purchase
the
price.
cost of money is so cheap right now. And I think we've got so used to it. We've been spoiled. And to a certain extent, I think it is. One of these days we are going to wake up and, rates will be up quite a bit and we'll all go, what happened and what happened to the good old days?
Why did I buy?
Yeah, why didn't I buy? Why didn't I? sell.
Yeah.
It affects the selling market too, right?
I think the most important thing we're telling our clients right now that are buying and that are overbidding, because that's kind of what you got to do if you're buying right now.
Right.
We really focus more on not the purchase price, but the affordability. So we let people know, listen, if this is a home you're living in and you're planning on living there a long time, if you're feeling secure with your job status right now, look at the financial piece to it. Make it more of a business decision about the affordability of the property. And then don't worry about it. It's kind of like the stock market.
Right.
If you're going to buy, nobody wants to see their portfolio go down. But if it goes down on paper, it doesn't mean you lost anything. And that's the same way with real estate. So hold on, get in, and take the ride of the Santa Clara County train because it's going to keep growing.
Choo choo. It is for sure.
Very nice, Daniel.
We got about 2 minutes left. I guess the only growth, right? We don't is the vertical stuff. So I know downtown San Jose, I think for the first time, we've had false starts in downtown San Jose. We can't talk a lot about now, but for decades, as you know, all of us know, right? But I think it's real for the first time now. You see in high tech go down there for the first time, which is going to drive more jobs, more people. So there's probably some area there for the people that want to go up, right?
I agree. I think if you look at Santa Clara County as a whole, there's nowhere to go, and people keep coming here. So it's got to go somewhere in San Jose and Santa Clara, those areas. Joe, before we get off the air, just a quick shout-out to Daniel and I's team members. Mike Lauk lost his father about a few weeks ago.
Sorry to hear that.
And Mike's been a dear friend of mine and a valued team member of ours. So we're sorry for him and his family, and we're praying for him. A shout-out to Terry Lewis, our longtime assistant.
Terry's
She's She's
Wonderful
awesome.
gal.
And you know how that is important. And Christina back at the office, hopefully you're listening right now. You're the bomb. You take care of us. We really appreciate it.
Very good. Real quick before we go, guys, what's the best way to get a hold of your website, phone number, email?
Website is www.jfteam.com. And if you want anything for the Sereno 1%, you can go to serenogroup.com. Check it out up there. Also, Barbara Cole, she does a lot with Sereno, so shout out to her too. She's been awesome as we've joined. She kind of took care of us in the beginning.
Very good.
John's phone number is 408-605-8133. I'm at 408-832-9121.
Great.
Give us a call. We are here to help you, and we're not going anywhere for a while.
All right, guys, thanks. Great guests. Good seeing you guys again. We'll have you back. Joe 𝐸𝐴𝐻 with Real Estate Radio Live. Thanks for tuning in today. Have a great afternoon. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Take care.
RadioLive.com. Tune in, log in, download our podcast. Discover more at RERadiolive.com. RERadiolive.com.